Welcome back, Jackets, to another episode of the Jacket Newscast. I'm Bella Morin. To start us off, here are this week's announcements. Tickets for prom are currently on sale. Tickets are $40 through March 13th, and beginning March 16th, ticket prices increase to $50 and will only be on sale through March 27th. Tickets are available by seeing Miss Shelley. Prom is open to both juniors and seniors. Anyone hoping to bring a guest from outside the school district must get a guest request from Miss Winchester. Prom is being held on Saturday, April 18th from 7 to 11 p.m. That's it for our announcements. Let's go out to John White for the projected forecast for this week.
Thank you, Bella. And now we head to the weather for today, Wednesday, March 11th, with a high of 79 and a low of 39, with a 24% chance of precipitation, and also a potential for strong storms today. And for the rest of the week, it's mostly to partly sunny, and then there's a potential for snow early next week. And for the rest of your week's forecast, here you go.
Thanks, John. Now we go to our field reporter, Mason, as he asks students and staff our question for the week.
One teacher to survive the zombie apocalypse with, who are you choosing?
Mr. Dow. I feel like the Australian-ness in him will help him kill zombies.
One teacher to survive the zombie apocalypse with, who are you picking?
How many teachers should I pick?
One.
Oh, Mr. Brock.
Why?
Because he seems like he'd have the most strategies.
One teacher to survive the zombie apocalypse with, who are you picking?
I would say Miss Winchester because I feel like that she could protect me.
One teacher to survive the zombie apocalypse with, who are you picking?
Natalie Morris,
Why?
because she's pretty fun to play with, hang out with.
One teacher to survive the zombie apocalypse with, who are you picking?
Who am I picking? Miss Powers,
Why?
because she was the one who homeschooled me when I was sick.
One teacher to survive the zombie apocalypse with, who are you picking?
Mr. Berta, he gonna drive the bus.
One teacher to survive the zombie apocalypse with, who are you picking?
I would say Mr. Young.
Why?
He was forestry and he seems to know a lot about farming and things like that, so that's somebody I would want with me.
One teacher to survive the zombie apocalypse with, who are you picking?
Mr. Brock.
Why?
He seems pretty aggressive, not gonna lie. He seems smart, so maybe he can help me out, get some resources, stuff like that.
One teacher to survive the zombie apocalypse with, who are you picking?
Miss Flora, because she's just the goat.
One teacher to survive the zombie apocalypse with, who are you picking?
Mr. Hendricks,
Why?
because he did like jujitsu and stuff.
He'd keep me safe.
One teacher to survive the zombie apocalypse with, who are you choosing?
Mr. Young.
Why?
He gives Viking vibes.
One teacher to survive the zombie apocalypse with, who are you picking?
Mr. Young.
Why?
I feel like he's got the best instincts.
One teacher to survive the zombie apocalypse with, who are you picking?
Sarah, Miss Smith.
Why?
I can run faster.
Thanks, Mason. And now it's time for our headlines. Results from the winter map testing showed notable growth across all grade levels at Williamsburg City School, though the largest jumps were seen in reading, where all grade levels were at the 62nd percentile in growth and 60th percentile in overall achievement. That achievement percentile is up from the 54th percentile in the fall. Math scores also saw a notable increase in overall achievement, increasing to 52nd percentile in winter from the 47th percentile in fall. Among the highest achievement scores from all winter map tests was the 10th grade, who were in the 75th percentile in reading and 71st percentile in language arts. The 3rd grade had the highest overall achievement in math, landing in the 65th percentile. Good job and congrats for all your hard work, Jackets. Over the past few weeks, we have been gathering information from the historic fire that nearly destroyed a large portion of the oldest block in downtown Williamsburg earlier this year. The fire, which broke out on January 20th, took multiple fire crews from throughout the area, approximately 14 hours to put out, and prompted a federal investigation from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. We were able to catch up with Williamsburg Mayor Roddy Harrison a few weeks ago regarding updates on the fire.
The conclusions was not arson, not human error or accident, just a bad accident. I mean, just an incident that just happened. It happened up in the ceiling and burned down. It didn't burn from the floor up. That's why most of the damage you can see. There's so much water, smoke, fire damage, and it burned all the way through to the alley on the back. So it was a devastating fire. This is one for the history books, guys. Everybody got out safely. They've been relocated. The businesses, I believe all, with the exception of Knock right now, have at least been relocated for the time being till we decide what's going to happen next. You know, who's got to take care of this? Who's going to knock it down? Those questions are still out there, and I know they're on everybody's mind, but they're on my mind too, you know. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Mayor Harrison also recently provided another update regarding the fire, saying that following an inspection by structural engineers and other professionals, the first story of all the affected buildings is still structurally sound and will not need to be demolished. Following extensive cleanup and renovation, the second floor of each building should be able to be rebuilt. For our last piece of news, we wanted to make sure to highlight some recent achievements by several students in regional and state level competitions. First up, JAG students participated in the Kentucky Career Development Conference in February, with several students earning spots to compete at the national level in the spring. Evan Moses and Kara Fusen were among those that will be traveling to Utah to compete in April. DECA students also shined during the State Leadership Development Conference earlier this month, with 3 students placing in the top 15 of several events. Savannah Young took 7th place in Quick Serve Restaurant, Jason Moses took 11th place in Entrepreneurship, and Bella Morin took 11th place in Marketing Communications. FFA also had an incredible showing earlier this month at the Kentucky River Regional Competition at EKU, where over a dozen students brought home multiple awards, including Zayden Housekeeper, who has advanced to the Kentucky FFA competition in June to compete in goat and sheep public speaking. Finally, several track athletes had great showings during the KHSAA State Indoor Championship earlier this month. The boys' team had 6 podium finishes, while the girls' team had several athletes in the top 15. In addition, Zyler Housekeeper had an impressive personal achievement in earning the state championship in pole vault. And that's it for our headlines, but we do have one more thing left in this week's episode. So let's go out to Mr. Timothy Wyatt with the return of Teacher versus Student.
All right, everybody, we're here in the gymnasium at school with our competitors for the next exciting installment of
Teacher versus Student.
So on my left, we have our student competitor today. What's your name?
Ellie Breeding.
Ellie Breeding. She's one of the stars of the girls' basketball team here at school. And over to the right, you don't need any introduction, but we'll do it anyway. From the land down under, we got Mr. Michael, Dr. Dow. So they're going to be competing today in free throw competition. So let's see how that goes. We'll give them a chance to warm up, and we're going to start. All right, folks, so we're in a sudden death match. Both competitors got 4 out of 5 shots. We're going to move to a best of 3 and see how our competitors do in this round. Let's take it back to the court. All right, folks, we have ourselves, once again, another tie. So we're going to move to another sudden death. Each contestant is going to just shoot until they miss, and that's what's going to decide the winner here. So let's get back out to the court. All right, folks, that wraps up our next installment of Teacher versus Student. Dr. Dow took it this time. I will say that there was a disadvantage for Ellie because we were using men's ball, so there is that. But it was a good competition, and thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you, Mr. Wyatt, and thank you, viewers, for tuning in. We'll see you again in a few weeks for our next episode. I'm Bella Morin, signing off. Goodbye.